Starting it off here in Pennsylvania. I looked at this one a couple times just to make 100% sure that I wasn't wrong in my assessment here. This vehicle over here does not make an illegal right turn to intersect with the camera. I am confident that a driver coming in the high-speed lane on this road, going through this obvious green light, since it's right over here, is going to not give way to this camera. But it's this dude's fault, if we're being honest. As he pulls up, watch. I'm going to slow. Ostensibly, he's looking left, but doesn't really slow for that yield. Goes 1, 2, 3 over. Kind of takes his time getting over. So I would think maybe he saw him, opted not to stop. But now this is where it gets kind of dumb. I muted it, but his passenger's telling him not to get out. He's upset, justifiably so. The driver in this car starts screaming that he has a camera, and he's throwing his hands up because it would be your fault, my man. Now he sees there's no damage, there's no issue there. This guy keeps screaming about having a camera, okay? He keeps screaming about having a camera, all right? It's never a good idea to get up in anybody's face. Don't mess with Texas. I wouldn't mess with New Jersey either. It's just never a good idea to get up in somebody's face, but especially if it's going to turn out that you were the one at fault, my man. Like, it's you're the one in the video, so you put this online. And online is this video of you almost hitting somebody, being at fault, failing to yield, then getting out and attempting to throw hands with an old man who was pretty congenial about it. I mean, he could have been nicer, but he also let you go when you were at fault. I mean, if you have a near miss like this and everybody's willing to walk away, just walk away. And like when it says yield, that means you, the person coming up to the yield sign, need to yield to the other drivers. So this one, we're going to subtitle Two Wrongs Don't Make a Right. But there's an action, there's a reaction here that is just, it's horrible, and people need to stop doing it. And then they're the ones that went ahead and posted the video, so I find that funny. This truck right here, that is a turn-only lane. You're going to see right there, there's a turn-only arrow, right turn arrow. He's going to try to cut in. Clearly, there's a long line of traffic here, and he doesn't want to wait. And here we go. Impatience on the right side in the red truck. So blinker on is kind of irrelevant. You should have done that a long time ago. But now we get into this drama of everybody coming up. Yeah, let's get aggressive and honk. If you get aggressive and honk, you have to expect that people might come up and have an issue with you. Now, this next little section, I want to make this point before we get here, because he says, older dude not happy. He held him up to the next red light. He's referring to this red light up here. You're going to see cars parked right here. 1, 2, 3. Now, those 3 cars, they're not parked in the road, correct? That would be, this is a lane, right? And like, what is this right here? Okay, it's kind of a shoulder, it's kind of a parking area, if you will. But if there were no cars there, what would stop someone from going down here and making a right turn at that light? Because the camera apparently decided that no one should be able to get around him. It's like these people that want to police the merge lanes and don't know how to use it right. See, right here, okay, right here. Why are you moving right, my man? Why are you moving right? You're trying to squeeze over to the right, okay? And now he's going to get mad and come around. And he's going to open his door and he's going to start having words. And like, I don't know why this driver, for one, posted this. You look bad, my man. Whoever's sitting here, you look bad. Your yellow line is over there. So you don't need to be in the middle here. You're not the police. I feel like maybe I didn't say it clearly enough, because certainly people don't understand it. But you are not the police. And this guy is upset because why are you trying to ruin his day? Why are you trying to block him? So what if he wanted to park over here? in any of these areas by the sidewalk. That's not illegal. We saw cars parked back there. Even if you didn't, what exactly are you doing? That's not a lane. Well, then what the fuck is it, my man? I get why he's mad at you. He's frustrated. He's like, I can turn from this lane. It's like, seriously, man. People are dumb. This one's pretty quick. It's just that it seems like people in Pennsylvania have really horrible reactions to like everything happening. You see this truck about to go in this roundabout. People are horrible at roundabouts. We know this. We know they're awful. The best thing you can do when approaching or using a roundabout in America is to be patient, which of course is a big ask for American drivers, but come on, folks, we got to learn it at some point. So this truck is going to go through, and of course the truck is going to slow down when going through the roundabout because it's big and roundabouts are round and you have to go slow through them. This Toyota right here wants to go directly behind the truck because he's already close to the truck and, was on the road behind the truck. This road ostensibly doesn't end right here. There's probably miles and miles of it. And after riding behind that truck all that time, you'd probably be frustrated too. But this dude rolling up does not seem to factor any of that in. He's just going to be like, watch me go into the roundabout. Watch me go in. I'm in it now, and all traffic must yield to me. I will demand they yield to me. How dare you? I'm going to slam on my horn, and I'm going to get offended when you slowly tap your brakes at me. Ugh, the offense. The offense. How dare you gently tap your brakes when I lay on my horn for you? It's like yield to traffic in the roundabout. I get it. But technically, if they can get into the roundabout, if they can get all four wheels in before you get to them, you're going to have a hard sell, because it's like if you just plow into them at full speed, insurance is going to ask why you didn't slow down. And honking your horn at someone while slamming into them isn't actually, it is a response, but it's not considered a driving response. Like the horn is useful to alert someone coming into your lane, let them know that they're about to hit you, alert someone that the lights turned green. But if you lay on your horn for anything more than 2 to 3 seconds in almost any state in America, you can expect them to do exactly what this person over there did. Give you a little tappy tap, sometimes a little bit longer. The longer you lay on the horn, the harder they're probably going to hit their brakes. So just relax, take a breath, and use roundabouts a little slower. At least it's not a four-way stop. All right. I have said it once. I will say it so many more times. If you don't need to be in the right lane right now or in the next immediate vicinity, then don't be in the right lane. The right lane is where people turning out turn into. The right lane also crosses people who are crossing to make a left at the last possible point of the intersection. Go over here. If you have 3 lanes, be in the middle. If you have 2 lanes, be in the left one. Only be in this lane if you need to be in this lane. Okay? It's the entrance exit lane, and it's not better. Ever. Especially not for this person who could have seen this coming and doesn't do anything about it. I'm rolling down the road and I'm not paying attention because people are turning in front of me and I'm doing nothing. Still doing nothing. I mean, that probably would have been a better time to maybe use your horn. But, doing nothing at all and then just slamming into them, there's some pretty long shadows. Okay, there's some pretty long shadows getting thrown here. So I'm going to go with the sun being over your shoulder. So that person turning into the sun, maybe you were right in the sun. Maybe they actually couldn't see you at that angle. I'm not excusing it. It would certainly be 100% their fault. Unless you get an insurance adjuster that's maybe a little more picky, I would almost be able to argue 80-20. You're not supposed to turn in front of somebody, but you had a lot of time. Other car totaled, and that's a lot of money. But the really sad thing here is I'm sorry that car was totaled. I'm glad yours was reparable. A lot of times it's not, even for something that small. And a lot of times there isn't a cop right there that's going to see it. So just ride in the middle, practice avoidance, right? You can common sense max your way out of ever being in that situation. From the left lane, they might have been able to see you, but even if they didn't, you know, you, if you're more aware of what's going on, you could have hit the horn a little earlier too. You saw two cars turn ahead of you. Got to be more heads up when we're driving. We can avoid this kind of thing. I'm going to say the driver in this case handled this pretty well, because he definitely had the right of way. He definitely was in the right. He was the driver that should have been in that lane. And like when someone aggressively cuts in front of you, like when they're driving a vehicle in a manner other than it was designed for, right? Like I'll say this specifically about certain vehicles, right? Old SUVs, Suburbans, Tahoes being driven way too fast for something that rolls over that quickly. Or in this case, minivans being driven really in any spirited manner whatsoever, because despite the fact that they have V6 engines and they're quite potent, like just because they're capable of high speeds does not mean they should ever be subjected to them. So they're just kind of rolling along here, and then this person's going to come screaming across, full speed. So lays on the horn. Now, this future engineer is quite angry, and he decides he's going to throw open a door and get out. The minute you see someone that's willing to throw open their door, you need to stop engaging. And in fairness, he wasn't engaging at all here. I think I would have laughed too, honestly. I don't understand what drives people to be this way. I'm going to assume it's a combination of pride and very low IQ. But we see this a lot. Man, in Florida, you see it so much. People that when someone honks at them or in any way flashes the lights, rolls down the window and makes a comment, if in any way you try to point out the fact that they're being idiots, that they're driving so poorly, they get deeply offended because I think they get shamed and they don't like to have to face the fact that they're such horrible drivers. So it's really, if at all possible, it's better to not engage at all. This guy was a pretty good example. I mean, I think the honking was unnecessary. It's hard because it's a force of habit. I actually recently installed a significantly louder than normal horn into my vehicle, as a reminder to only use it when I absolutely need to, because now it's like, I don't want to make people pee for no reason. But if I see something that really requires a horn, I'll use it. So trying to be more judicious with my horn use. And you really should do the same so that you can deflate and really calm down road rage situations like this one. Well done to this man. This one kind of makes me a little sad, because it was really avoidable. There's no argument here between the two. They agree on what happened. But this car is coming out from here, coming out of the driveway, turn onto this road. This truck is about to turn and they're going to hit. When you are leaving a driveway, turning into a main road, it is your responsibility to make sure the road is clear, whether you are pulling out forward, whether you are backing out. Even if you're like turning around in your driveway, right? If you're pulling out into the road to turn around and back in or go in forwards, whatever, it is always the responsibility of people who are joining the road to yield to traffic already in the road. And this person doesn't do that, but this is completely avoidable. Okay. And like, this is one of those situations. Most accidents happen within 2 miles of home. A lot of that has to do with distraction and people being, very aware or very familiar with the area they're in, rather. And so it breeds a false sense of confidence, people not looking as carefully as they should. But anytime you're going to go into the road and you're coming from a side, you are the merging traffic, so you have to yield to the people coming in. And as he comes out, he's not going too fast, but then he just rolls out. Boom. I would argue that the truck probably had time to stop if he was paying attention. Doesn't seem like he was. But this car didn't come to a full and complete stop and definitely needed to. It can be awkward when people park like this. Sometimes you have to stop way back here to be able to see. I've had situations, especially some of the coastal towns and some of the downtown areas where I'll have my girlfriend get out and kind of wave me out or like direct me, because it's like it's really really hard to see around vehicles, but you pulling out are responsible, and this will be entirely insurance. um Insurance adjusters are trying really hard to not take 100% fault, assign that to anybody. They try to do a lot of splits, 80-20, 50-50 if they can. They might try to pin a little bit on this driver right here, but it's predominantly this driver's fault for not paying attention. And the entire thing could have been avoided if we just slow down, take a few extra seconds, make sure the road is clear before trying to merge into it.